Welcome back to the KSLA Cafe, where Russia's invasion of Ukraine a decade ago has left hundreds of thousands of people killed and wounded. So the fighting continues today, and sometimes the images we see of war that come across our TV screen, they may not tell the full story. So we want to get more into that. And here to get us a closer look at the situation is Marina Hrytsenko. Did I say right? Hrytsenko. I was so close. I'm so sorry, but
Okay.
but she is a native of Ukraine who actually spent a year here at Benton High School a couple years ago. We were talking about this during the break. We're so glad you were able to come back and see us during your visit. So tell me about the time that you spent here in Benton. What was it like for you?
Yeah, so when I was 16 and in college, I won a scholarship to be an exchange student here. It was a U.S. Department of State scholarship. That was my first time abroad, and I came here in Louisiana. I went to Benton High School for a year, and I stayed in a host family so my parents are Air Force in Ukraine, and my host dad here was also Air Force. So it was
wonderful.
a really nice connection. Yeah, he worked at Barksdale.
Nice.
So I went to high school here, learned English really well, interacted with people, told them about Ukraine, and it was one of the best experiences in my life.
Absolutely.
So I'm back.
And so you went to college after that. You went to college in New York.
Yeah.
Studied international relations.
Yes.
And so I want to know, you were here in 2018, but
Yes.
where were you when the war first started in Ukraine?
Yeah, so war started in Ukraine in 2014, like the first time when Crimea was annexed and what part of Ukraine was invaded. So I was at home, that was before I even came here. And since my parents are military, my dad was actually on the front lines then in Donbass and fighting. He was protecting the civilians who were trying to get like humanitarian aid. And he was even shot in 2016, like he was injured.
Wow.
So like war has been a very big and impactful part of my life for a long time. And then in 2022, when the big invasion happened, I was in London studying abroad, but my family was there, and actually since I'm from eastern Ukraine, from Kharkiv, it's a big city there, it's very close to Russia, so my dad was fighting from the first day, and my mom and sister were under bombings, and my grandparents were in occupation for 7 months.
Wow.
So yeah, that's kind of been a lot, but you know what, my grandfather was actually rescued by an American Foreign Legion soldier.
Really?
So the first person after 7 months in occupation he saw was an American who
Wow.
volunteered to come and help us.
There were a lot of Americans who volunteered. We covered a few in our various TV stations and everything. So I know that this has been a big impact on your family, on your community. So as people are still, we still run stories about what's happening over there. It's still ongoing, but people may not get the full gravity of the situation. So what would you, if people are watching right now, what would you want to say to them as the American people, and also to, President Trump? He just came into office, back into office. So what would you want to say to him? He's been working on getting both sides to try and end the fighting. What would your message be?
Yes, my first message would be thank you, because American people have really stood up for us, for our values, because we are fighting on for the same values that Americans have fought for years ago, and now that they bring to the world, for liberty, for being able to go to the church that you want, for being able to just go to school, for being able to do the work you want. We don't want to invade anyone. We don't want to, put our ideas onto anyone. We just want to stay in our home and just be free in our home. And these are the same values that connect us as people. And we are very grateful for that support. And because of American support, my family was able to still stay in Ukraine, and after graduation I came back to work in Ukraine for the government, because I want my country to also keep surviving and then flourishing, hopefully. So the huge thank you for being with us. That is the first message. And the second message is that Ukrainian victory is American victory, because this is a fight of liberal ideals and of ideas of freedom against the evil, against a society that does not have all of those ideals. So we want to be strong, and we think that our strong position is America's strong position too. And we're very grateful for all the
Thank you so much for sharing your message. I know we have to wrap, but I appreciate you coming and sharing that with us.
Thank you. Thank you all.